Vico, Veno, and Flixie. A deadly trio, I know. Vico had the most kills and the highest damage ratio of any of those three during the last Div 1 Cup that they won. Vico manages this by playing the fragger role unlike anyone else. If you like Get Better at Game, make sure you subscribe because we're aiming for 18,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So subscribe to help me hit my goal. Now, despite being one of the most aggressive players in the world, and I've played against this man, so trust me, he is one of the most aggressive players in the world, Vico plays his fragging role in an incredibly interesting way. He is the most disciplined fragger I've ever watched. What he does good actually starts way before Endgame. It's in the boxes leading up to Endgame. Vico barely ever edits any of the walls, therefore decreasing the chances of him getting hit by opposing players, and just stays there nice and disciplined, waiting inside the box for next zone to pull. In lots of games you will not need Surge, and especially if you come from lower divisions, you'll probably never need Surge. Vico knows that if he starts going for Surge in these situations, he's likely to get beamed, wasting the team's heals, so this means that he has completely mastered the Zenning technique inside the box. And that's just for starters. This guy's discipline does not stop here. Coming into Endgame, he is also one of the most safe fraggers I have seen. There is no overcommitment from Vico as he goes from box to box. If he sees someone to jump out on, he is honestly just not going for it. And he is also very, very close to his teammates the entire time. Veno is leading up the tarp, and Flixie and Vico are like right next to him the entire time. This means that lots of the time it's actually Veno going for the kills. Veno will tarp into someone, and then all three of them will be there to triple pump him, and then they'll have a free kill on their hands. When Vico does look for kills, however, he's not just editing out into the open air. He's looking for cross-box wide edits. And what I mean by this, if you hold your blueprint out, you can actually edit the wall from a whole tile away. That's what Vico's trying to do in these endgames. He's looking for teams that are tarping around them and trying to get walls on the side of the box so they can hit a quick kill. If they then hit 180 or knock one, all three of them can go attack that box and actually claim all the space and even take the body back if need be. This is a much safer way to get kills than the old classic of just editing out on someone who's running outside. That's a bad edit, especially as a fragger. There might be 2 people, there might be 3 people. You just trying to go for a kill as a solo is not going to be the way to go, especially in trios, even at the higher levels. Stop! Wait! Do you want to become a great fighter like Vico? You're all fraggers on this video, I assume. Or do you just like my content for some reason? The Fighting Masterclass link in description is perfect for you. It is literally less than $30 and it has over 150 videos for you on fighting, made by pros, including Vico, on how to fight. You can use code JKC at checkout for 17% off, and also consider using JKC in the item shop because that really does help me and it would mean the absolute world to me. In fact, the majority of endgame, Vico does something really interesting. He is literally just holding walls. He is walking around with his wall out, just holding different walls that could be sprayed, especially in a new box. As soon as the box is built, he's just walking around, looking around in circles, just kind of like holding it whenever there could be people shooting at it. And then when they start tarping, he is just closing the backup. He's just following along pretty close to his team. He's often the last one through because he's the main fragger of the two. And he is just holding the walls. He just resets the wall behind him, builds another wall there for a bit of extra protection, holds the walls, and then builds another wall behind him as they go further down the tarp. And then he's right on them if they ever need to go for a refresh, and this means that they're super consistent with their games. Because of Vico not being a loose cannon, going off on his own, getting killed, he is able to get a lot of top 1s, top 2s, and this is shown because Vico, Veno, and Flixie have literally won the last 3 Div 1 Cups, I believe. If I try to imagine a fragger without an ego, I think my mind would come to Vico in this moment. Because once they do not need any more kills, they have like 300, 400 mats coming into some of the final zones. Vico literally does not even look for kills anymore. I'd say that the fragger's role is completely changed by Vico. In a lot of people's minds, the fragger is the one that's always fighting. But in Vico's mind, the fragger is the one that fights when they need to fight, and when they don't need to fight, they are literally with the rest of the team. So as they're going through the more tighter layers, he's not even focusing on kills. He is literally just hacking through or shooting through builds when need be with Veno, meaning that he can make it through the entire endgame. Now this is super important because if he'd have gone for another kill here, which they don't need, obviously you can't see the situation I'm talking about, but you can imagine it. If he went for another kill when he doesn't need one and then he ends up dying, that leaves Veno or Flixie as a solo. And that means that when they come to play heal off, they have no one to defend them when it comes to playing heal off one of them. But since he plays nice and chill and just hacks through, shoots through the builds with them, he ends up making it all the way to the end. They end up coming second anyway, but it means he can actually take out someone else, leading to the other team going down. I think this is what we've got to take away from all of this. Having a fragger does not mean you have the highest ego. You might be a good fighter on your team, maybe not the best, but you will be a good fighter if you're a fragger. But this does not mean you have to go for every single play. Taking the whole team's welfare as a whole is 100% better than going off on your own. Your role as a fragger, your primary aim is to follow the IGL and also drop mats for the IGL. If your IGL does not need mats, then there's no reason to go for a brazen play outside the box and getting killed. Vico is literally just going to and from, dropping mats, coming back to Vino, dropping more mats, then looking for a halfway edit on someone, a between the boxes edit on someone, and then going back to Vino as he tarps into someone, getting a kill, and then after the rest of the game, he was just moving around with Vino on low ground, breaking through everything with him, and then he went up to kill someone for the heal off. And that was just an example of just one of the games I watched. I've watched quite a couple of the games, and this is honestly a strategy that works very well, and I think their placements prove it. Make sure you comment down below, let me know what you've learned about being a fragger today, and if I can interest you in on the video on the screen. This one is going to be great if you're struggling with solo, so go give it a watch, and also subscribe to the channel so we hit 18k by the end of January 2025. It would mean the absolute world to me. See you in a bit, love you all.